honestly, I hope we never get good at it because then it just feels weird.
Yeah, I don't want to be good at this.
Welcome to Curling Nation, a casual yet informative look at curling. Episode 2. We love you, Kevin. New USCA clothing items are out. You can find some at shields.com. You can order online. Today on the show, we've got Duluth curler Dan Plys talking about his 2,500-mile journey to end childhood hunger. But first, we got Mark Wilmert from the Twin Cities Curling Association on to talk about the Big Spiel.
We're joined today by Mark Wilmert, and he's going to give us a little spiel about the Big Spiel. Thanks for joining the show, Mark. How's it going?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely. Yeah. The Big Spiel. This is like our first spiel that we're pimping. I know it's a big deal up in the Twin Cities. You want to give us a little insight about the Big Spiel?
Well, I don't know how deep you really want me to go into the background. The Big Spiel is run by the TCCA, which is the Twin Cities Curling Association, which has been around since about the year 2000. And it was originally set up when St. Paul Curling Club was full at capacity, and we were looking to branch out and get some other curling clubs going, which we were successful at for many years, until the point in about 2013 or 14, Twin Cities didn't really need any more curling clubs. But what we found was there was a lack of communication between the clubs and some effort in between the clubs to consolidate some programs and do things of that nature. So at that point in time, I decided to start the Big Spiel with a couple other people. The idea being an MCA, a spiel kind of after the MCA. Of course, not quite to that size that Mr. Brown knows about. Mr. Brown, aren't you one of the only winners of the MCA out of the United States?
One other
Yes.
team back in like the 40s or something, I think, won.
Nice.
Right, yeah.
The MCA for the noobs tuning in is the Manitoba Curling Association Bonspiel, and I think I don't even know how many clubs are in the Manitoba area, but a whole pile of them, and you play all over the place in Manitoba. It's a huge spiel.
So
We'll get into that later. I want to hear about the Big Spiel.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the year 2015, so we did the first Big Spiel, and at that point in time, it was at three venues, and we started out hoping to get 128 teams and settled on the 96, which we have done each and every year since then, although in year 2 we added a 4th club. This year we might add a 5th club. Dakota is also affiliate and might be hosting games. It kind of depends upon how this goes and what we try to do number-wise as far as sheets of ice. But, we really felt we've raised a lot of money for curling. We've over $80,000 over the years. A lot goes to juniors, a lot goes to the clubs. We gave almost $15,000 to $20,000 back to the clubs this year.
Wow, that's great.
For COVID relief. And since there's no really other bond spiels going on, and this is the only way for TCCA that generates most of their money, it raises probably about $7,000 to $10,000 a year to go towards stuff. I really wasn't pushing to do it, and the more we talked to people and the more we got closer to it, everybody wanted to kind of really give it a go, with kind of a hesitancy of, we just don't know where we're going with this whole COVID thing, and we decided to open up registration, which was later than usual, and we decided to go for the 96 teams, but instead of waiting to the last minute, we kind of gave ourselves the deadline of November 15th, which we kind of called D-Day. And at that point in time, we're going to see how many teams we have and determine whether we're going to go forward with the event or how many teams we are going to host at the event or when it's been open till. So we're kind of doing everything with in the back pocket approach. People are excited to curl. There's not any bond spiels for anybody to really register for. Almost everything in the Twin Cities, as far as all of our clubs, have shut down all bond spiels pretty much through January 1st. So we thought this might be the perfect chance to get into it. We've had several Zoom meetings with all the club hierarchies to kind of make sure that everybody's on the same page and we're not forcing anybody into anything, and that, but really it was the clubs that were pushing back to us to say, hey, we should really try to do this. People want to curl. People want the experience. If we can do it safely and we can do it planned out, let's give it a go and see what we're going. And with the dichotomy that at any point in time things could change for all of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So-
obviously, we're not we don't want anybody that's tuning into the podcast to be like, this is the be all and end all. It's definitely happening. Things can change. And I think you said you want teams to sign up by the 15th. Do you guys have an idea of when you're going to make a decision, or it's just
Like
it
I
could
said, on
it could be the
15th
week
of
before and you tell
November,
the
yeah,
15th
like
of November you want teams to
November
sign up by,
15th,
right?
We're going to look at those numbers
Okay.
and see. I will tell you, in the past, we've always gotten to 96 teams, even though some of those were coming late December and early January. And the one thing I put in discussions with this when we decided to go forward was, with all the CBC standards and guidelines and all the things that we're going to try to put in place to make everybody safe and everybody feel comfortable, it's no easy draw to make. We've got 96 teams, 4 different venues, 10 different events.
Whoa.
4+ teams guaranteed. It's not a just add 2-team draw where you keep dropping down till it's a knockout. It's a spider web from hell. And changing teams and the number of teams at a late date gets
Real
our
gross.
prestigious Mr. Satchram, who helps with the draw, pretty bent out of shape, because it's no easy. One change spider webs into 20. So I didn't want to be sitting there mid-December, late December, wondering if we were going to hit to the 96. So I kind of said, well, let's see what happens on this date and go from there. I will tell you that as of today, we reached 48 teams. So we are
Wow, that's
halfway
pretty good.
there and have been
Awesome.
open for about 3 weeks.
And you
That's
got about
real
a month
good.
left.
That's real good with
Yeah.
about
So that's twice the size of most bomb spiels that most clubs throw themselves.
yeah, no
so-
doubt.
I've
So
got
we're
a couple
taping-
facts about those 96 teams, just because I'm pretty keyed into it for over the years and seeing everybody come back. This is kind of something neat that we get people from all across the country. Typically, I would say that we probably get 35 to 45% of our teams are from out of the Twin City area and outside the state of Minnesota. Actually, that's going on an increased level versus a decreased level. Actually, the number of teams in town continues to go down a little bit, and the teams from out of town, as it becomes more popular and more people realize what kind of a neat opportunity it is. A lot of these arena curlers and ones that are don't have a lot of other clubs in their area do not have the opportunity to curl at 4 different top-notch clubs with great ice in a year, let alone over a 4-day period. So it's kind of a bucket list thing for a bunch of those people. It's just a different opportunity to play changing ice in and seeing a lot of the different venues that, are, as you guys all know, have been Twin Cities, pretty nice clubs. But at present point in time,
Hey,
like I said, we have 48 teams, and I counted just recently here, and I would say roughly a third of them are all from out of town. We've got teams already coming from, I'll just read some of the states: Wisconsin, California, Texas, North Carolina, Ohio, Iowa, Tennessee, Massachusetts, South Dakota, North Dakota, Florida. So we've got a lot of people coming from a lot of places. We've got 6 junior teams already signed up, which is neat. A couple years ago, we opened it up at a really low rate for junior teams, just so they can get some experience, because they're lacking ice time at that time of the year, and it's kind of fun to show the people what we're doing for those those guys. And most clubs around the country haven't even opened. And the Twin Cities is just starting to open now. And to be at 48 teams by simply posting posters on Facebook, not sending out any posters, not doing any other media, speaks for the list of people that are coming back. But I've seen probably 20% of them are brand new teams that have never curled in the event before. So I just got 2 teams from California today. They're just stoked to try something. So, that's kind of where we're sitting as of today.
Yeah, we know those California curlers. They love traveling and spieling.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I've
So,
curled.
Mark,
Go ahead, Greg.
Mark, tell me what 4 clubs are you going to be using?
Well, in the past couple of years, we've used St. Paul, Chaska, Four Seasons, and Frogtown. We've held ice at Dakota this year also as a possibility. To tell you the truth, with 96 teams, we have more ice rather than too little ice. We have plenty of ice here to host it. Now, we don't know what's going to happen. St. Paul's, at present point in time, only using 4 sheets for their leagues. Chaska and Four Seasons are using 6, So we're kind of hemming and hawing and just making sure that we use all the protocols. We don't want any club to not, feel comfortable with the sheets they're doing. The one thing that we might struggle with this year, so we have 96 teams, is the nice thing about it is we ran all 8 events, semifinals and finals at St. Paul, so everybody on Championship Sunday could be in the same location. The last 2 events ran a little earlier at Frogtown, but that's only a hop skip away versus some of the other clubs. So that might alter a little bit, and we kind of want to bring Dakota into it a little bit too. We're just kind of hedging our bets ice-wise to see what's going to work out depending upon what teams. My kind of goal on this was to hit 64 and then see whether we want to tackle 96. I don't think we're going to have any problem at all hitting 64. In fact, I'd be surprised if we don't get that in 2 weeks. Then we'd have to decide whether we're going to cut it off there or push for the end of it. And, we're kind of letting the curlers tell us what to do.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if it sounds like, it's a moving target that you're going to do what they say to do to keep everybody safe. So yeah, we definitely want to, I think everybody's thirsty for curling. Everybody wants to be on the ice. On my way here, I drove past our club and it was kind of sad. It should be about, a couple days before we start the Halloween spiel, and
Cars in the parking
there
lot.
there wasn't a car in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It was real sad. So,
and I don't get to get rid of Kevin for the weekend.
yeah, we're the charity case that takes them off from your hands. So.
That means I have to see him the Friday before Halloween. He's usually already on the road.
Yeah, I played in the Big Spiel twice in 18 and 19, or 17 and 18. And usually Kevin was just stuck in the back of Chaska, just incoherent, making loud noises, just doing Kevin things.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, going back to
that VFW across from Chaska though is pretty notorious for hosting his own event on an occasion too, in between draws.
Yeah, no, like you were talking earlier, that draw is crazy. Looking at that draw board when you're at the different clubs and having it match up at every different club, I literally have no idea. I just stood in front of it one day when we were at Blaine because we had to play in Chaska, and looking at just the size of it and how tiny all the names were and how everything still works at the other clubs, it absolutely blows my mind. And how you guys pull it off each time, amazing.
Yeah, is there anybody you want to shout out on the podcast and let them give them some love? Yeah, I'm guessing you're not running it by yourself.
Yeah, no. There's a couple people. Joel Ingersoll puts a lot in as president of the TCCA. He took over presidentship of TCCA. I think last year for me after about a 15 to 16 year run. Wow. Which is, he does a lot of work for it. Bob Hedstrom is a co-chair of mine. Him and I have worked together on this for about 5 years, and you know, like you said, it gets easier and easier somewhat each year, but more complicated too in the same sense. But he does a great job. It's nothing without Rick Loberg. If I say so myself, the Big Spiel has the best graphics in curling. The posters each year are most unique, and you know, people, half the time when we post them, most of the people are not coming to the Spiel, but they're asking if they can buy the posters. So he puts in a lot of work, and he does a great job with that. And of course, Donnie Satram for helping with the draw. That's a big job every year, and we've, you know, part of my reason if we switch it to 64 teams, which we don't want to do. That means that we got to redo the draw again this year. we always have to flop around a little because some clubs get off on Thursday night because we don't need all the ice, so we do a little flopping. But flopping around 16 sheets of ice even spider webs quite a bit. But changing to 64 teams though means I'm going to have to, those draw boards that you say are so intricate and so big and have so many different things are going to have to all be redone.
Oh no.
You know, it's a fun spiel though. I do it because I like giving back to it. I like seeing people coming in from out of town. I like the camaraderie of bringing people from the other clubs in the Twin Cities together. Even though, you know, there is a curling community here, a lot of people don't go to the other clubs at all and see what the other different cultures in. You know, with a few of those clubs being so new, I mean, you guys are at a club that's been around forever and the culture's already built in and they understand it. Well, you know, some of these new places and these rec that are more rec facilities for cities, which is not a bad thing because they're footing the dollar to get the clubs in. But a lot of those curlers do not understand the culture and the philosophy behind the social aspect of it, and it's more of a softball league come and go type thing for some of them, and this is a way to get to the other clubs that have some more of that within their system and to teach them a little bit more about it and get them traveling around and doing stuff because, you know, you guys know, I mean, it's great to curl in your own town, in your own league, in your own club, but most of the enjoyment I have is going out and about and meeting new people and getting lifelong friendships from people that, you know, you see a couple times a year.
Yeah, I know that one of the big things that we liked about it is I went up there with Brad Caldwell both times that I did it. But just going to the other clubs and talking with, like, the new people in Blaine, the newer people in Chaska, talking about how we grew up in the, you know, 3-sheet garbage clubs back in the country. And, you know, we had 2 teams from Blaine come down to the Centerville men's a couple years ago just because we had that interaction. And I think, you know, just having that conversation with a lot of people talking like, what's it like curling in these new clubs in the cities? Here's what it's like in what we've had. And it was awesome. Like, I've never had that big of a variance of forever curlers to I started 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's really fun showing those new people how to spiel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, at this club, you write what you want on the board.
Exactly. So I do want to tell people that, you know, we do understand there's a pandemic and we have COVID and there's people that are skittish about playing, and understandably so. You know, each and every club here in the Twin Cities has similar but different guidelines of what they feel responsible in their club from, is both on a social and on and off ice aspect. That's with leagues starting, and that's kind of developing through the clubs. We intend on taking all those into consideration and following those guidelines. We will be expecting, you know, when and if we move forward with it, to, you know, have a good standard sheet that we will send out, you know, a week before to all the skips to say, here's what our expectations are. You know, we don't want to be the police, but we want everybody to be respectful to not only themselves, but to all the others on the ice. And people have different feelings. And, you know, we understand that the social aspect of this Big Spiel might be a little different because of the ability to hang out and the number of people and how some of that might change. We're probably not going to be able to. I mean, I'm way past ordering pins and glasses and all the stuff that we usually give away just because we didn't know what we were going to do. So it's not going to be. It's going to be traditional fun. We're going to find our way through it. There might be some new things that we come up with, due to some of the guidelines and standards. We just don't know what's going to happen. It could, we could have a vaccine in 4 weeks, or we couldn't. We could have a larger breakout in a couple weeks and have to call off the jam.
Yeah.
We want to be transparent and honest with everybody about that we're going to do what we can to run a safe spiel under the guidelines that are set forth by by CVC and the state and the clubs, and hopefully it pulls off without a hitch.
Yeah, and that's why we
the
have.
draw board will be correct.
And that's why we wanted to have you on. I mean, I think it might be one of the only opportunities that some people have to curl at all this year. And we just want to get that out there and let them know and help you fill that draft sheet or fill your draw board, get your team signed up. And yeah, if you have to call it off, I mean, email the show if you're mad at us, but I hope you're not. But
yeah, registrations at twincitiescurling.org, and there's a kind of a blurb in there that kind of talks about it and what we're doing and the dates wise, and there's obviously email addresses in there that you can get a hold of me or somebody else on the board if you have questions or want to do it. And please note that we have singles and doubles people, not full teams, signing up, and we put them together too. We've got all sorts of different options. We're just letting people know, please be patient with us. Please understand that it's a changing environment, and we welcome anybody from out of state, but please also hold off on your travel plans until we make a definitive action, on some of these dates. And I will tell you, if you want to play, there's a chance that we might be cutting this off at 64. I hate to say it, but that's a reality. And we're 14, we're 20 teams away from that cutoff line. So
yeah, sounds good.
There's going to be there may be some disappointed people that would like to play the can if that's what happens. We certainly don't want that, but we also don't want to be responsible to the participants and to ourselves in planning it.
And I'll attest.
We'd hate to get to 86 and then have something happen and make for a bad draw for everybody. And well, you guys get it. With everything we're putting up in the world today, this is the least of the problems if we have to safely cancel a Bonspiel.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed, and I mean, they might be disappointed, but I think they'll understand at this point. And we're on YouTube, so we'll definitely throw a link in the description if people are watching on YouTube and want to find the Big Spiel. Otherwise, we can probably put some links on the. We'll make sure to mention it.
And we are not taking money from anybody right now.
Right.
Just so everybody's clear on that. We're just saying hold your spot, and once we make that decision, then we'll email you back out, and at that point in time,
then give us all your money.
We just didn't. Yeah, right, exactly.
So Big Spiel.
If you haven't tried it, it's a great spiel. And
it's
if
awesome.
You're afraid to try it this year, it'll be around again next year. And I'm telling you, especially if you haven't experienced a lot of different clubs, it's a great opportunity to see a lot of different ice, a lot of different teams, and like you said, you look at the draw board and you're like, wow, we don't do stuff like this. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, the Big Spiel is going to be January 14th through the 17th. It's going to be at the Twin Cities area. So Twin Cities Curling Association, twincitiescurling.org is where you find it out. Cutoff for checking to see the numbers is going to be November 15th, but don't wait. Get on there now. It'll fill up. It's so much fun, and people know it. It's got a great word of mouth. So.
And if you don't know what the Twin Cities are, that's Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Mark, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm glad you guys are doing this podcast. It's cool. I look forward to seeing more episodes. It's hard to watch when you got Richie on, but there'll be other things coming up here in the future. So congratulations on this. Thank you for having us on. Again, if anybody has any questions, they can email us out, or any of these guys can direct you towards us. But we hope to see you here in the Twin Cities, and we ask everybody to stay safe, and we'll see you on the ice.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Dan Plys. He's on a 2,500-mile journey. Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm in the final days of my trip already, man. It's hard to believe.
Where are you at right now?
I'm in.
Well, you just what state?
Yeah, just state is fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm in
Louisiana. All right.
Gonzales. I'm in Gonzales, Louisiana at the current moment.
Gonzales? Is that what?
Yeah.
See.
Oh yeah. So you're almost done.
Yeah, I'm hopefully just outside of New Orleans tomorrow, and then
Holy crap.
through New Orleans day after that.
So you're 2 days. So by the time this episode is posted, you'll be done.
Yeah.
Nice. So how'd you wind up doing this?
Couple loose screws.
And tell us what you're doing exactly.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're doing first, and then why are you doing this?
Yeah, fair enough. So I'm in the final days of pushing my skateboard from down the Mississippi River. Basically, I wanted to raise awareness for childhood hunger in the midst of the pandemic. It kind of has made the childhood hunger issue worse and not better, and so I kind of decided to take it upon myself to do something, and this was my idea.
And you're doing this for Project Joy, right?
Yep.
So what is Project Joy? Tell us about that.
So Project Joy is an organization my family started about 8 years ago, I think. It's basically an advocation foundation that raises awareness and funds for childhood hunger in Duluth, Minnesota, and the Twin Ports region.
Excellent. And we've all been a part of that through the House of Heart Spiel, so we're all quite familiar with it. So we're all proud to be have raised money for that, drinking for the kids and all that.
I mean,
all for the kids.
It's all for the kids.
Richie was our first guest, and he said that's his favorite spiel.
That's his favorite spiel.
You got to feel good about that.
Yeah, and so the HOH, right? So that obviously didn't get to happen this year, and that's a huge weekend, and a lot of money that kind of ties us through the whole year, and not having that whole weekend was kind of a big bummer. Obviously, just to get to see all the friends and basically the family that's been created there as well. But just the money that they all raise in that weekend goes a long way. And so this was, to not have that and know that things have just gotten worse as the government tells us all to stay put and hang out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of kids that aren't going to school and
for those that don't know, the House of Hearts Spiel is a charity spiel to raise money for Project Joy. It's towards the end of March.
Yeah.
So this year was a big bummer because it was a last minute cancellation due to the COVID, and that's last year we raised almost $100,000.
Yeah.
Which is just fantastic. But to have an organization not have that is huge. So you came up with this idea to longboard down the Mississippi. How's the board doing? Like, is it lasting this long?
This is board number 2.
This is board 2. How far did you get with board 1?
To Greenville, Mississippi. So the night that we were doing the Zoom call for the virtual HOH, I was noticing like a couple little cracks in the fiberglass, and I was a little hesitant on it, so I was doing some like kind of trying to seal them up with some epoxy. And the next morning when I went to leave, I could just kind of feel it get super spongy, and then the whole bottom of the board, like the fiberglass cracked all the way across. So I made it like just over 2,000 miles with it.
Did you eat shit at all when it failed?
No. So I've spent so much time just one foot in the other foot that you start to notice like the really small subtleties when the board started to change its characteristics. And so when I stopped to take a drink of water, I noticed like, oh shoot, this is not good. It was so I'd been holed up for 3 days in Greenville, and then the next day I was like super excited to get going, and then realized my board was broken.
What was your fix on that then?
Call home and have them ship me another, like one of my other decks. So,
Yeah. In Missouri, you didn't like pass by a longboard store and just get a new one?
You know, I kind of been going through the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there's not a lot of crunchy people in Mississippi.
No, there's not a lot of crunchers, man.
What are you riding? Do you want to shout out to the people that you're riding? So if they do hear this, they can maybe throw you some free swag or something.
This is a Northern Pine longboards.
It's a what?
They're made of Northern Pine.
Northern Pine.
They don't actually. Yeah, so he doesn't actually make boards anymore. It was a Minnesota company, and I don't know. I think this was Chris's. He gave this board to Chris after like I don't know
something
like maybe the Olympics or something, and so Chris is old and lame now and doesn't do anything fun. So.
Oh, I do crunches because I'm on the Olympic team.
So hey, have you only had the one set of wheels, or did you have to switch wheels too?
One set of wheels, 2 sets of bearings. I've only been using the one set minus the one day I knew I had rain. So 1 set of bearings, basically 1 set of wheels. Couple extra like parts of hardware, but yeah, everything's just kind of held up and
so
for the best.
Is there research out there that says like these bearings will last you 22,000 miles, but 2,000 miles in one, you better get these things changed? So is there a longboard research out there, or are you just winging it?
I kind of.
Or do you just know you've been longboarding enough that you kind of know what you need?
No, I've got no experience of anything like this at all. Just like I did 3 times. See, I think I went 3 different occasions, like a week and a half apart from each other, where I pushed 56 miles just to make sure that I enjoyed myself, kind of.
Sure.
Before pushing up.
So 3 times
really
work. Do it for a month and you're good.
Yeah, so I did a bunch of research on Reddit, because all great research is done there, apparently.
That makes sense.
A little on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, they're trying to raise, they're trying to charge things now, and it's changed the dynamics of it, Everything's gone over there, but no, there's a fairly large community that I come to find out there's a semi-large community of long distance longboarders, and they all kind of pointed me in the same direction for the company. And so, yeah, I kind of bought everything really last minute, threw it all in a bag, and
So how much
got
stuff are you
dropped.
taking with you? Just what you can fit on your back?
Yeah, so my bag's probably right around like 40 to 45 pounds with water.
Well,
So it's
yeah.
An extra shirt, an extra shirt, pants, one pair of boxers, two pairs of socks, my riding shorts, my riding shirt, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, pillow,
Do you have,
and
do you have one of those speed helmets that you can?
no,
Come on, man.
I wish. No, I have I don't know. It's just an old helmet. It's probably shouldn't be actually using it, but
So you said sleeping pad, sleeping bag. Are you camping, or are you finding?
'Cause now you look like
places
you're in a
to
hotel.
crash, or, yeah, like you're definitely not
This is
camping tonight.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's wrapping up. He's wrapping it up. He's got to enjoy himself.
like a really nice overpass, actually. It happened to have Wi-Fi. No,
Yeah.
I learned really quickly that camping, if I wanted to complete the whole A to B thing, camping really wasn't in the cards. So it's been the scudsiest motels that one can possibly
Oh
find.
no!
Yeah.
So I'd probably be better off camping, but
Yeah.
They have a
This at
bed.
least
Who
gives-
cares?
yeah, that's really it. I mean,
Yeah. Just don't turn on a black light there and see what's really
No.
there.
no, you don't want to do anything like that. I lock the door. This is probably one of the nicer places I've gotten to stay. But most places, you barricade the door with a chair or whatever other heavy objects you can find. Put the mace next to your bed, and just sleep with one eye open.
So how many miles do you get per day, or does that vary based on weather or terrain, or?
Yeah, weather and terrain, a little bit. I've had a lot of sunshine. Typically between like 50, try and stay right around like 50 to 60 miles a day. I've been upwards of, I think my longest day now is like 88 miles. And on the short end, I think I might go like 40, 30.
How many days have you been out there?
I don't actually know anymore. I started,
That's how you know you've been there a long time.
yeah, it's been a long trip, man. It's been a long time. I left September 4th. So
Okay,
how many days that is.
month and a half ish so far.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good time, man. You're flying.
Yeah, I've made pretty good time considering I got stuck in the last like 9 days, 10 days. Well, in the last like 10 days, I couldn't skate 6 of those days because of weather and then a broken board. So
And do you have to hold out
Also-
for a hurricane?
yeah, I got stuck for 3 days when Hurricane Delta came through. Just kind of holed up in a really sketchy motel, and then I left sketchy motel and got stuck again because my board broke in a town with absolutely nothing. My Wi-Fi only worked. I was very much first world problems. But like my Wi-Fi only worked in the parking lot, and I didn't have cell phone reception, and there was no restaurants within a 5-mile radius of my hotel. So I made friends with the dredge operators, and every day they would bring me to dinner, which was their breakfast.
Well, that's
And
nice.
Yeah. Other than that, I just ate oatmeal and sat still. Tried to.
Nice. How much money have you raised so far? Do you know, or are you gonna?
I got it up right now.
At liberty to tell us?
14,500.
Holy crap!
Oh,
That's it.
$14,000. That's awesome.
It's honestly like when I started, I was thinking like, sweet, if we can raise $5,000, that'd be awesome. Like any bit of money goes a long way, and people have just been super supportive. So to see how much we raise, like on the really hard days, seeing that number just keep going up and up, really pushes me to want to keep skating, and knowing that it really is gonna do, like, make a difference for the kids that actually need it. So
Nice. Well, I had to do too much parenting for virtual HOH, so I haven't donated yet. So I'm throwing $100 in there. I'll throw
I
100 bucks,
appreciate it.
100 more in there.
you
Yep.
couldn't get to virtual HOH, you missed out.
I was on for like literally a half an hour, and I tried to buy some Mary Broman cookies, and I got shut out. And then I had to. My kids were being real pain that day, so I tried. But I'm throwing money on your page here, so $100.
I
100
haven't.
more for me.
I have not donated yet either, so
I just
I'm
did.
gonna donate as well.
Not much, but I helped. I'll take my shirt off for hunger.
Hey, we don't want to get pulled down off for YouTube just yet.
Oh
time.
yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
YouTube shirts off gets things pulled off.
We get put back up, but it'll get pulled down pretty quick.
But yeah, if anybody wants to check out the website, it's 250025forhunger.com. That'll bring you up to the page. Run over to take action.
2,500.
2,500.
2,500.
Yeah, 25 million for 2500forhunger.com, and it'll bring you all to tell you everything. It'll tell you everything you need to do to throw some donations their way, help out some kids in the Northland who don't have food, and you can be a big part of this big problem.
So once you get down to the end, is there like confetti there for you, or like a big banner, or you're just gonna like, I'm here, and then just turn around, and go home?
Hit the ocean.
It's basically the last. I mean, there's a sign that just says you've reached the southernmost point of Louisiana. As the locals call it, it's the end of the world. And then I'm gonna get in a car, hopefully.
A car?
Not have to skate.
You're not even gonna fly home?
No,
Are
I'm
you
gonna
gonna get
fly.
A car to the airport.
Yeah, so New Orleans is like 90 miles north of the end of the line. So
Gotcha.
I'll have to keep on
Craigslist.
skating south
Craigslist.
through New Orleans. Yeah, I figured Craigslist is probably the way to go.
Get some
Uber's
nice
gotta be
Creoles down there.
They
Are
got
you-
Uber
Yeah.
down
Oh,
there,
would you
right?
like a ride to the airport?
You can't understand them that well. Come on.
No way. Just gonna do a Forrest Gump when he gets to the end. I think I'll go home now.
I'm tired. I'm gonna go home.
My mom's gonna, I think, make it down for the end. So hopefully
Nice.
she's in a good mood and she'll let me get in the car.
Oh, that would be great.
Hopefully she's got some air
better.
freshener for you there, so you can fumigate yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't put deodorant on in a long time.
What's the point?
It's extra weight.
It is.
I don't really
It is
need
extra
it.
weight.
Heavy.
So have you met some interesting people on the way?
Yeah, I've met some interesting people. I've met some nice people. I've met some people that were strangers, and now I'll probably be in contact with for the rest of my life.
Awesome.
That's great.
But I've definitely met some interesting folks.
Well,
Inevitably.
if they're willing to get that close to you, not having worn deodorant for months at a time, they gotta be willing to put up with quite a bit.
Yeah, they got low standards,
Yeah. Oh, I say you have a great mane going on here, and I just want to bring your attention to Craig's. Look at Craig's. Look at that.
Now bring it out, Craig. Bring it out.
Come on.
Bring out the whole thing.
Release the beast, Craig.
Yeah.
There it
I
is.
can't really do it
Right.
justice. But, I mean,
Dude,
I'm working on it.
I didn't know guys with gray hair could grow their hair that long.
They can. It's I got it cut like I was lucky. A haircut like 2 days before everything shut down for COVID. March 10th, and that's it. I'm just letting her fly. Like I'm 7.5 months in, no cuts, nothing. I'm just gonna see how long it gets. I'm gonna be a matter of it's gonna be another month or another year before I get that one, I suppose.
Yeah, I think I'm at 2 years with these almost, and then there's like 4 years of growing my hair out before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dreads really shrink it up a little bit.
I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
much hair do you need to have for dreads? Like,
What's that?
Craig? How much hair do you need to start with dreads? Like, can Craig start dreads right now?
Yeah, he could. He'd have like little
Little geese turds
Little-
just hanging off his head.
like moose nipple. He'd have like little cow nipples all over his head.
I'm not about that. If I'm gonna do it at all,
Yeah, just
I'm
an
gonna
udder head.
try and do it right. But I gotta tell you, I don't think I'm ever gonna be the dreadlock guy.
All right. Next HOH fundraising campaign: dreadlocks for Craig.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
HOH community, we need to make
I'll
that
do
happen.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Craig.
I'm
How
on your
much?
page right now,
Yeah, Craig.
donating to Project Joy. So shut up about the dreads on me.
Nice.
we'll edit it out.
Oh no, it's staying in there.
They make it work.
All right, fantastic. So congratulations on raising at least $14,000.
Yeah.
It's going to be 15,000.
It's going to be hopefully
least.
more by the time the show airs.
Let's
but-
get this shared out some more.
Yeah.
We'll share it out again. Each of us will share it out again.
There are probably tens of people that listen to this podcast, so
Yeah.
they'll donate.
Yeah. All of our tens and tens of fans.
14,100. Now, got $100 coming your way, dude. Doing good work for the people.
I appreciate that, Craig. No, I appreciate you guys. This is all of you guys I think have been a part of HOH in the past, and it's been cool to see just this curling family kind of rally around this idea, and to support this organization and support our family in this, and really raise tons of money for a community that a lot of you guys will never get to see the fruits of your labor. In your own community. So to have you guys be willing to take that time and take a whole weekend to come up and hang out has been huge. It's really allowed it to grow to a proportion. I think that without so many amazing people coming together, we would never be where we're at now. So
Yeah, so in the future, everybody out there, look out for the House of Hearts Bonspiel end of March. It is the Bonspiel of all Bonspiels. It's so much fun. Look for it, hohduluth.org.
Yep.
Sign up. And Dan, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for doing all the legwork for us just sitting here and throwing money at you. But
Yeah.
it's people like you that actually get it going on. So thank you for
legwork.
doing it.
yeah,
And
it is-
how many lives you've changed yourself? Congrats, man.
I appreciate that, guys.
All right, Dan, thanks. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
All right. Well, big show.
Go.
Head Mark Will.
High quality production. And cut.
Yeah.
Take 2.
Well, second big show. We had Mark Wilmert for the Big Spiel. Talked about a bunch of dumb stuff from big bond spiels we've gone to. Duluth curler Dan Plys talked about his 2,500-mile ride to stop hunger. And we just want to thank you guys for showing up. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at Curling Nation. Instagram at The Curling Nation. Check out our website at curlingnation.curlingnetwork.com. Podcast is on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and we're going to be coming to Google Podcasts soon. Patreon, Curling Nation, if you want to help us out a little bit and get us some more variants of our liquids that we drink here. If you want to email us with some questions, want us to talk about something, if you got a bond spiel that you want to push, let us know about it. We'll try to help you out the best we can. So from me, Joel, Mike, and Craig, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time in Curling Nation.
Good curling.